everybody, welcome back. So, Roanoke MDA show, Roanoke, Virginia, 2024. The last show I went to, had a blast, absolute blast. If you've never been to that show, you need to go. It's so much fun. Dennis Smith and the guys do such a good job putting that show on. But this is my haul from there. This kit came from eBay, and that's the only extra. It's a small haul. It's not very big. I also have a gift that I'll show you. But I was very busy that day, not only with the show, but with the table vending, and that was a great day. Joseph, my son, did a absolutely wonderful job manning that, and I would help, and we would relieve each other and things like that. But anyway, so here's what I got from the show after this one. So this I got on eBay, kind of in between everything, and I got this at a really good deal. This is an AMT Ertl, so this is early mid-80s model kit. Probably doesn't have a date, if I'm not mistaken. They don't, but this is a mid-80s 1927 Model T, and I had one of these and I'd like to build one, but I just wanted to get another one to add to the stash so I wouldn't be down one. It's in beautiful light blue. I haven't got a clue why they do that, but anyway, that's what color it is. Don't really matter. Primer, some nice black paint will cover all that, or whatever color I choose to paint it. But anyway, 1927 Model T Ford. We had one of these. I've told this story a long time ago, but my dad had a friend that said, we got an old car out in the woods. If you want it, you can have it. So we had to go out there, and there was no top on it, but it was the little cabriolet type 4-door, tree growing up through it. I had to cut the tree off. There was some of the chassis, but none of the axle or anything. People would make trailers and stuff like that out of these old cars once they quit. But we dragged it. It didn't have, it was from here back. That was basically all we had, was the center section. Didn't have any fenders, I don't think. Dragged it out, took it to it was no good. The doors would actually open, which was really cool. I would get in there. I was like so shocked how small the doors were on it, especially the back doors. And there are no seats. There's no floorboard to it, so it was just completely gone. But there was a spare tire mount in the back, right? And on that spare tire mount was a Ford emblem. Believe it or not, that didn't get taken off. It was brass. I think it was brass or something like that. My dad, this is no lie, this thing had been sitting in the woods for 70 years probably, depending on what year model the car was. And it was like a 1/2-inch nut, and the nut just came right loose, and he unscrewed it. That's how well the steel and everything was made for these cars. And he had that Ford emblem. I think my brother has it. Once my dad passed, I think Ashley has it. It's my brother's name. But yeah, that was cool. I don't know what happened to it. Probably the junk man got it eventually, because it was really useless, except for that one Ford emblem in the back, and it was nice, heavy duty, very cool. Anyway, that was eBay right there, 1927 Ford Model T. And then I picked up this bagged 23T delivery van. This is an old one. I don't know exactly. It's just got one end of the box, but it is an early AMT kit, probably late 70s. I would assume that's what this one is. I think they repopped this one as well. No, that repop is still old too. But anyway, it's a fairly old kit. I'm not 100% sure, but it's T400 is the kit number. I see the repop that had Budweiser on it's kit number 2401. I'm looking over on my shelf, and it's an old one too. Anyway, I got this for $5. He said he's pretty sure it's all there. So I said, well, heck, it's worth it. Give him $5 for that. So I got that little bag kit. I'm starting to look at the bag kits more and more, because there's a lot of good deals there. I picked up this MGTC. I thought that I had one of these, but I may be mistaken. It may be a smaller scale that I have. But anyway, this is a little MG monogram kit. This is 1982. Here's the copyright date on there. So it's completely sealed. Cool little car. I don't know what year model this car is. It's 124th because it's a monogram. But I'm thinking what, 40s, something like that, maybe. I don't know. Maybe you guys in the comments can let me know. I paid $18 for. Actually, all the ones with these prices, I got a handful of kits and he gave me a deal, so I didn't pay the price that's on there. But anyway, got that one. And then I got from the same guy, I got this old kit, Chrysler LeBaron. It has a few things that had been started on it, but it doesn't really matter to me because I found another kit like this when I went to Maine last summer at a antique store. And this pretty much looks, it doesn't really like anything got started except he put some wheels in the rims and the tires. But anyway, I had the other kit that I bought from a antique store in Maine, and I just wasn't sure that if it had all the parts. So he had this one marked for 15 bucks. I got it cheaper than that, but anyway, that's pretty cool. This is the Gangbusters also, and I got one of those, if I'm not mistaken. Where did I put it? I've done some rearranging in here, so it's hard for me to find stuff. But I think this is one like my friend Billy Bear sent me, but the Gangbusters. NPC, obviously it's an NPC kit, but NPC early on made this kit in the Gangbusters, and then they made this edition, kit number 1-3153, and this is 1979. So anyway, cool old Chrysler 1932 Imperial convertible sedan. So got that. And then also from that fella, I picked up this 1950 Ford custom pickup. I've got one or two of these somewhere. I don't see them on my shelf. They're a little bit bigger boxes, so I've got them put somewhere else. But these are cool trucks. I really can't stand the old 60s style paint job that one has. But as far as I could tell, this kit is complete, and I got it was marked at $15 or $14 actually. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, gotta be missing something. But as far as I can tell, it was all there. I mean, I might be missing something big, but when I just opened it up and looked, I see tires, I see windows, and I see just, you know, everything that looks like it's supposed to be there. But I don't know. If not, it'll be a parts kit, but I think it's all there. $14, and then got a deal on top of that. So I don't know really what I gave for it, but probably more like about, I don't know, 12 bucks or something like that. So that's cool. 50 Ford, and these are really nice. And this is Revell monogram, so it's not a monogram kit. It would have been a Revell 1/25 scale. So I've never built this one, and I always wanted to make a Sanford & Son truck. And a friend sent some decals at one point I've got that say Sanford & Son and all that, but this is the wrong year model, but it's closer at least. I think it was like a 48 or something like that the Sanford & Son truck was, but it's pretty close, and I think you can make a pretty good representation of the Sanford & Son truck with this one. So next, and these next two are also from the same guy. Got another one of these, which is super cool. Got the Stromobile. He had $27 marked on that, and I would have given him the $27 for it. These trucks can go, they're pretty pricey if you're looking on eBay and things like that. Now the truck itself is obviously that 55 truck that a lot of guys built as the USAC build. But this one comes with the barrels, which I think are the same barrels that would come with the beer wagon, I think. But anyway, I don't know what shape the decals or anything. This is a 1981, but I would really like to build it just like that. I think that's too cool. So got that one. Again, he had it for $27. I probably got it for somewhere in the neighborhood of $25, but again, I would have given him that anyway, because this is becoming a harder and harder kit to find. You can find the truck all day long, but if you the Stromobile, these are getting pretty difficult to find. So got that. And then lastly, from this same guy that was selling, I picked up one of these. I already had one, and I forget who sent it to me. I cannot for the life of me remember. I said early on in the channel, but my dad built this truck when I was a kid. I remember watching him build it, and I think I've got a part or two of it in my old remnant box of stuff. I think I've got the cab. I don't know how those things just get destroyed, you know? I take such good care of my models. I don't know how stuff just eventually just ends up in complete just pieces. But anyway, this truck reminds me of my dad every time I look up and see the one on the shelf, and especially I saw this one. It's complete. He had marked on it $26. Now I know it's not, the kit's difficult. I know this old 56 Ford by Revell is a tough kit because it's an old kit, but the doors and all, I guess you could glue them shut, but those hinges are really a pain. I've actually started one of these and I put it back in the box because I was like, nah, ain't no way. I'll just glue the door shut probably if I decided to build it. But this one appears to be all there except for the big rear tires. They're not in there, but that's okay because I know a guy who's got a 3D printer, and he could probably print me some really nice tires and wheels to go on it anyway. And I don't especially care for the ones that are on it. They're not my favorite, but yeah, just cool. Just reminds me of my dad, so I wanted to get another one of those. And that was the last one from that fella. And then got this one, and I believe I meant to text Dennis Smith. It's Dennis Smith's friend. He and me, Lucas C, Dennis, and I think it's Tim. I think his name is Tim. We all went to eat the first time I went to Acme. But anyway, Tim, if I get his name wrong, I'm sorry, but I'm just calling him Tim right now. Tim's a great guy. I like talking to him. That's terrible that I don't remember his name. But anyway, the show had ended. Everybody was packing up, and he had one table with model kits. And I saw this, and I was like, man, that's cool. It's the Little John Butera 26 Ford T sedan delivery. I have one of those in the Little John Butera kit, and it is a little different because the wheels on the Little John is there's spokes. I'm looking up on the shelf. There's spokes, and that's probably about all that's different. This one I mean, it may have the spokes in there too. It even says Little John's on the side, and Little John, well, you know what, so this one is a delivery where the Little John up there on the shelf has windows here, but I bet those are just windows you paint or something like that. But anyway, it looks like it's the same kit as the Little John Butera kit. Regardless, he had his table, he was breaking everything down, and I said, hey, what do you have on here? 25 bucks. I told him I wanted it, and he says, well, hey, I want one of your engines. And so we were getting everything, putting it up, so we did a swap. So I think Tim ended up getting maybe a set of wheels and an engine, or a couple engines or something like that. But anyway, I got this kit from him, and that's really cool because I don't have this one, this particular one, and it just looks like it'd be a fun kit to build. And actually, it's really high up on my radar because I don't know, something about this. You know, it's the year model of cars I like, but it's also a hot rod. But I like it. It's not chopped. I think it's pretty cool. This one might just get built pretty soon. This is a 2000 release, and yeah, cool. All right, and the last one. So, a guy I met last year at Roanoke walked up to me. We talked during the day too. Such a nice guy. Here comes the train, by the way. But Tommy Halsey brought me up. He says, Matthew, I got something for you. Now, Tommy's a great guy. Tommy's a guy that I could just sit and hang out with all day long. He and I relate to one another. I don't know if he feels the same way, but I'm like, this dude makes you feel like you've known him all your life. And he walked up to me and the train's about to just go crazy. So, yep, told you. But he brought this up to me because he knows I like monster trucks, and I don't have this, and this is too cool. He said he's had this since it was brand new. It's the MPC Monster Ford Bronco truck, and you know what? I think I built this, and I think in one of the pictures that I have, as a matter of fact, do I have those pictures right here? Let me look real fast. I don't know if it's one. It may be the Bronco that I'm looking at, the Destroyer, or the Term. I don't remember whichever one it was, but it could be. But I don't think it's this one because the shocks are inboard, and I'm looking at what I'm looking at is, if you'll notice, let me get something to point with. I've got another picture that I've got to get developed. I showed it on a video a while back. I've got the negatives, but right here, that's the back side. Either that's this Bronco, but what I'm noticing is you can see the shocks, and on the Bronco the shocks are inside the leaf springs. So I'm thinking this is that Blazer kit. What was it? Darn it! It's not the Destroyer, I don't think. Anyway, there was and I just picked up the number 2. Anyway, regardless of the fact, or maybe the 1. That is somewhat like a Bronco body, but I think it's the Chevrolet one, but whatever. Anyway, he gave me, Tommy brought this up and gave it to me, and I was so thrilled because this is just so cool and vintage. But let's see, I think it had a year on it. Yeah, it's got 1984. He says he remembers getting this as a kid, and I'm like, man, for somebody to part with something like that's really special to me, because I would dare to say that I don't know if I could even do that, because if I had it since I was a kid, like right above us right here, I've got that Quadzilla. I've had it since I was a kid. I think it's an 86 year model, and that just means so much to me. My dad held on to it for me, and that's why it's still here. But whenever he passed away, I ended up getting it back from him, or I think that's how the deal worked. But anyway, but yeah, it would be tough. So when somebody brings me a gift like this, I don't take that lightly. It's a real sacrifice, I guess is what I need to say. It's a super sacrifice for him to do that. And yeah, he may not have built it, and hey, I might not build the Quadzilla, but it's like something that belongs to you, and you've had it for so long, it's almost like a part of you. And to hand that over to me, man, thank you so much. I really appreciate you, Tommy, for doing that, more than you'll ever know. But he said it's all there, just like it got, like when he got it. Obviously, he's wrapped up the windshield to protect it, but man, this is too cool. I've got to build this. I've got to build this. So look at that. That is something, man. Doesn't even look like it's ever been really taken out, because it just fits in the box so nice. I hadn't looked at the decals or anything like that, but yeah. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you to everybody that came up to me at the show. It was a blast. Thank you to everybody who bought stuff from my table. That was amazing. And just the time that you have at these shows is just wow. I met so many of you guys, and I just can't say enough. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for sticking with me and making me feel special when you come up and talk to me. It's I don't know, man. It makes me, it just overwhelms me sometimes when people come up and say, hey man, even if it's just in passing by, hey man, I love watching your channel. And I'm like, man, thank you so much. That means so much to just an old country boy who plays with little model cars. It's just, I don't know. I could go on and on and on about that, but I'm not going to. But so thank you guys for all you do. Do appreciate it. So I'm done with this little haul. It wasn't a massive haul like usually. I just didn't have the time to. I looked around for just a few minutes and went to that one vendor and got those, and got this one and the one from Tim. But anyway, all said and done, guys, don't forget, as always, go check out hobbynutmodels.com. It's always linked in the description of the video. Mark, I've got a box I've got to unbox and show you what what I got from Hobby Nut Models this month. But Mark's a huge supporter of the channel. Go over and support hobbynutmodels.com. Grab yourself some of that great MCW paint, a model kit, and everything that goes with it, as well as my website, mcvproducts.net. I've got a lot of 3D printed stuff, as well as the ProTech line of detail parts. So go over there and check that out. Give little Miss Ellie something to do. At this time right now, she's sick. She has been sick. She's had a fever, and then Ruthie got sick, and I hope I don't get sick, but you know how that goes. It runs through the household a lot of times. But anyway, I'll be packing the orders for a few days, but that's okay. So anyway, guys, thanks for your support. As always, thank you to my Patreon members. You guys are great. I really appreciate every element of support that I receive from you guys in the community. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up if you don't mind, and hey, we'll see y'all really soon. All right, take care. Bye.